he's an 18-year-old kid. And I think watching him on the ice, you forget that because he looks like he's been out there for years, like how comfortable he is. But he is the age of a high school senior. So like it is another kid. And you know this too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like you forget. You're like, oh my God, you're a child.
Yeah.
Has he
A
changed
mature
diaper?
child, but you're a child.
Welcome to Never Offside. We're back. Very exciting episode today. We have Sydney Martin in Long Island. She and I have a lot in common, as some people know, that we both have 18-year-old live-ins with us, and it's just kind of...
we have 4 kids of our own so there's so much in common here.
There's lots of crossover here.
We both have never met her, so it's just a fun conversation that, she kind of gives us the whole run of the gamut of growing up in an NFL household to meeting and marrying Matt Martin with the Islanders, and now having a household of 4 of her own kids, and now Matthew Schaefer. So
speaking of, I got back from a girls' trip late last night, or not late last night. I got back at like 9 p.m. last night, and I walk in the house. Yeah, I guess it's late, whatever. I walk in the house, and I'm greeted by Ty, Michael Misa, and Sam Dickinson on the couch watching TV. And the first thing they say to me when I walk in was, Sam scored his first NHL goal.
I saw that.
Sweet. Yeah, it was cute. Then I was like, what did it feel like? And it was a cute conversation to have. And they were all pumped, and that was my greeting. So it was cute.
Love that. I saw that on the ticker this morning when I woke up, and the ticker, do people still talk like that? Like it's on the ticker?
It's like Sports Center, yeah.
The ticker on my phone, I guess.
Yeah.
But I saw that and it made me smile so big. So congrats. That must feel so cool. You were in your cowgirl era this weekend.
Oh.
Like, let's go back. Like you belong on a horse and in a cowgirl hat.
So Courtney Turner, by the way, if you haven't listened to her episode, she was season 2, episode 2. Go back. My dearest, bestest friend. Her birthday every year, she celebrates like a bachelorette party. It's like the one person I know in my life that like literally every birthday is like a very planned out, very random bachelorette party. It's all over the place. Like sometimes it's in Vermont. Sometimes we're like, I don't know.
It's just a girls trip where you guys a good excuse. I love it.
Yeah, and it's always themed, so it's very bachelorette-y. But so this one was very Dude Ranch, Park City.
It was amazing
horses,
from what I saw.
Skeet shooting. So. Yeah, it was fun. But it's been a really busy week because so in preparing on the plane last night for talking to Sydney, there's so many commonalities between you and I and us all, whatever. And it just reminded me of this past week. Ty had his 900. That's what we talked about last week on the pod. It's always scary to say that out loud before it happens, but it happened against LA. And here's a funny thing about living with a teenager. So it was a 8 p.m. game against LA. And I didn't know if guys would want to hang out after, because you always want to like celebrate a little bit. So our house kind of becomes like a frat house, right? Like everyone kind of just comes over to our house. Like it's just a frat house. And if there was a president of this frat house, it would be Will Smith. So I told Will, I was like, if guys want to come over and just, hang with Ty a little bit after the game, like let them know, but it's a surprise. Like make it a surprise. If it doesn't happen, it's fine. I get it. It's late. It's a tough schedule this year. So the day of the game, Ty comes home and after his practice and he goes, guess what our child just told me? I was like, what? He's like, he just told me that Will told him that all the guys are coming over after the game to surprise me. It's like,
oh,
so Michael just told you the surprise? And he was like, yep, that's what it's like living with
Come on, Michael.
Yeah, but it was cute. They all came over just for a little bit and, just like we had cupcakes and stuff. It was cute. But
that's so
anyway,
fun.
Life of... I'm sure Sydney will have many of those instances too, and then you will too with your kids when they get older.
Mine is a frat house in its own form. Like I'm just walking around cleaning up SHIT left and right. It not literally. Well, sometimes with baby, but it's a frat house, and I can only imagine when it's 18-year-olds and up.
Get the cupcakes out. Get
everything out. But
some treats.
That's so exciting for Tyler. I also didn't realize that it was against LA. Like that, I think we talked with Alec, like everything is poetic. And how poetic was that it was versus LA too.
You know what's weird? Last week was like, after talking to Alec, like you and I got really emotional about like sports and stuff. He really brought it out like in us. Like I was very reflecting. I don't know, especially
it was also like a refreshing kind of reinvigorating, because it was a different kind of conversation, and I feel like we got so much positive feedback from it that I feel like I'm taking kind of notes and instances into future interviews and the one today, and so I really hope people recognize it and can see different things that we took out of it.
And it kind of just made us reflect on these milestones that are happening. So
all of those things. I'm trying to think of what happened in our world too. Well, I think the only thing that's consuming my brain right now is the World Series and the Dodgers versus Toronto. That game, if y'all watched it, like, I'm sorry for the Toronto fans, but that was the wildest thing I've ever seen in baseball.
Yeah.
But all that to say is all that's been consuming my feed is Shohei Ohtani videos, and like I'm obsessed with him. And I will say that I was like texting Kat, like, can we get an interpreter and can we get his wife on the podcast, because he seems like the funniest, best, most fascinating human ever. And
what was that post-game interview after like the 18-inning game, and they're just like, what do you want to do now? Or like, he's just like, I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah, but it was he is so funny. Just like, I don't know, all the montages kind of probably of what you get fed of Wilmac, videos that fans put together. That's what's being fed to me, because I am like liking everything about like
him and his
all
dog.
Of this. Yes. And I can't get enough of it. And I'm just like, this guy is awesome.
Well,
and
you never know. I could make the ask. We could see. It's fun. It was crazy. I was watching that game with Courtney in a bar in Park City, and it was so bizarre. But either of us not being there, between LA, me working there, Justin playing there and winning there, or Toronto, where Justin played last year.
Yeah,
so it was
I can't
very
imagine.
Weird. We were like, what's going on? Like, what a year or two can change in sports, right? Like,
so crazy.
We're sitting in a bar right now watching
but
our
also
teams.
Having chatted with Courtney a few episodes ago and like learning more about like having her do her yearbook thing and talking about Kike Hernandez, who before that I did not know before. Now I'm like screaming for Kike. And then I'm watching his post-game interview, which was actually hilarious, like had me rolling in tears, that he's like, I just showed up with a pencil to the group project and I got an A. Like, that's how he described his contribution to the World
And I'm sure you were very, very in tune with his game day fits, because they're crazy.
Yes. I mean, he carried that teal bag to that last game. So that must be a superstition, because anyways, I can't get enough of that right now. And I know all of our Canadian listeners probably hate this, but
it was a great series, though. I mean, Toronto played so well. Like, it was really exciting. They played so well. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough, and
it was tough. It's gutting for that. I can feel that too.
Yeah.
Anyways, that I'm a little rambly because I was so obsessed.
Because sports are emotional and funny and
great. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, on that note, coming up next, we're going to chat with Sydney Martin. All right. We are so excited to have Sydney Martin joining us here today on Never Offside. She is a mom of 4. Let's start with that. She is wife to recently retired Matt Martin from the New York Islanders. She is the daughter of a football phenom, Boomer Esiason, and all the things, a career woman in sports. The intro, I can't get enough out because it's going to encompass our whole chit chat here today because we've got so much to cover, but we're so excited to meet you. So thank you for joining us.
It's so nice to meet you guys. I've heard so much about you, and I've, seen the podcast before with Meredith Goudreau, and you guys do such a great job. So I'm so excited to be on.
Well, thank you. We had so many fans asking for you. So
I'm flattered. Sometimes I really don't know why, but I'm flattered. I'll take it.
Well, that's kind of what we want to know more about too. We want to know literally just a lot more about you. Just growing up, your background, your work background mainly. I'm very curious about because.
I haven't really worked since I was 25 years old. So I'm 33 now with 4 kids. But I worked in basically sports broadcasting for a bit. I started with the New York Jets, just kind of doing like Jumbotron stuff. That was my first job right out of college. I went to Boston College, and I was a double major in English and communication. So I kind of always knew I wanted to go that route. Some would say that's kind of the Nepo baby route, especially because of who my dad is. But, I interned at CBS in college, and I kind of just had like a love for the news and, maybe being on camera. So I started there. And then my next job was for NHL.com, where I was doing highlights. And I was dating Matt at the time, so I wasn't allowed to do Islander games because it was a conflict of interest. So I got a lot of the West Coast games, and I would be there until like 2, 3 in the morning, covering those games, cutting highlights. And I learned so much from that job. Met so many great people at the NHL. And then my next job was at Sports Illustrated, SI.com. So I was doing pretty much every sport, covering, news stories. And you would see like, videos of me pop up on Twitter, on Sports Illustrated, where I was covering like the Olympics and everything else. And then when Matt became a free agent, he signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I kind of had to make a decision if we wanted to do long distance. I was thinking I was going to maybe be able to work in Toronto, but when I got there, it wasn't so easy with the visa. And I think everything pretty much in Toronto is focused on the Leafs, besides maybe the Jays and the Raptors. But the Leafs are such a big part of the sports media stories and coverage there that it was kind of an awkward transition for me. So I chose, just to support him, and we got engaged there. And when I moved back here, I instantly got pregnant. So I've been a stay-at-home mom since. So it was a ride, but I'm so thankful for it. And it was such a cool experience. And I don't know what I'm going to do next after, my kids get older, but I'm thinking more of like the writing route. I've already kind of written a children's book. I just haven't tried to get it published, but I just don't. I actually have not told anybody that besides my husband and a couple of my friends. But I have like such a love for writing, and I think that would kind of just fit into my life right now and like who I am, and having 4 kids and reading a lot of children's books. So we'll see where life takes me after this.
This is funny because we've kind of manifested a few times on this show, people talking about like their books coming. So we're like, I can't wait.
I've got more books myself. I'm looking for all new content to be reading to them.
Great.
Yeah, I know. I feel like there's only like a couple books I just read over and over again. So,
and then they know if you like skip the pages or something. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm like, bad time.
I know. But actually, Matt's pretty good. He like memorizes a couple of them, so like he just doesn't even need to look down at the pages.
He's acting it out by the end of it.
Yeah, he actually gets more into it than I do.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Well, okay, wait. Going back to your upbringing and your dad playing in the NFL, I was trying to do like the math and stuff. Like, how old were you throughout his playing career? Do you have memories? Like, what was your upbringing like? Did you move around? All that.
So, I was born in Cincinnati when he played for the Bengals. The Bengals was probably his main team, his most memorable playing years there. So I was born there, and I remember the house, and I have like kind of, some memories of like being in a box. I remember the mascot, like Bengal the mascot. I remember being on a field a couple times, but I don't remember the actual games. Because when he got traded to the Jets, that's when my parents, like, they moved us here. I was 3 years old. I don't remember anything about the Jets, which is so weird. And I'm a Jets fan. Like, I actually chose to be a Jets fan because I basically grew up on Long Island. So even though I was born in Cincinnati, I really was raised here. And he retired when I was 5 years old, so which is Winnie, my oldest daughter's age now, which is kind of ironic because, you know, that's when Matt retired too. And I'm hoping she has more memories than I do because my brother remembers everything and he's a year older than me. But I don't have that many memories. I just remember going to like Pro Bowls, like going to Hawaii. I remember things at Disney that had to do with the NFL, but like all the fun stuff. I don't really remember the games, but there's a lot of pictures, a lot of memories, and a lot of videos that I get to watch back that are really cool.
Is that funny for you or interesting? Like the fact that you had little girls, raising them in the NHL. I think about this often too, of like the amount of work it takes to get these kids to the game. And I know everybody listening, like we've got a great setup. We've got, you know, it's there to make it easy, but it's still like your whole day revolves around the naps and the this and the that. And
your husband's nap.
And yes, more
nap.
It's basically an away game anyway, during game days.
But do you find yourself, or like, do you chat with your mom about like the work she put in, and then like you don't really have that many memories, and you're like, oh my gosh, what are they going to do?
I definitely appreciate my mom so much now. Just like going through, and you know, like when you're with your husband as their girlfriend or their fiance before you had kids, like going to the game was like dressing up and, you know, having drinks and being there for the entirety of the game and not, you know, sweating and carrying in a stroller and a diaper bag and all that stuff. I even said this to Matt the other day. I brought all four to the game on Columbus Day. So like Matt wasn't playing. He's in the organization now. But I was like, I'm exhausted. Like I got home and I was cross-eyed. Like I was like, I can't see straight. I don't know how I got home. I don't know how I put all four of them to bed. And they're eating all the candy in the family room. But yeah, I definitely have an appreciation for my mom now, as a mom myself, and getting the kids to the game and like making sure that they have those memories. Like I think Winnie will remember like being up against the glass and Matt coming over and giving her a puck. And because, you know, there's in the NHL, the games are so much more frequent than the NFL. Like it was one game a week. Right. I'm like, it was like 2 or 3 times a week that I was bringing her to the games. And then my other daughter, Alice, like she's definitely not going to remember it because she's 3 now. But Winnie, I'm like, you were going a lot and you were up against the glass. There's no way you're not going to remember this. There. Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's got to be a bunch of like Legends games coming up that Matt's going to be a part of and stuff like that too. Right? Yeah,
and he has to do, like, he did an appearance last night at the game. I mean, he has to go to every single game and sit in the GM box anyway. So I definitely will, you know, bring Winnie to some of those. It's just weird because he's not playing anymore. So it's like, I'm not going to bring her up against the glass. Maybe to see Shafe. That would probably be the only time I would really do it. I know, I was like, you know what? I guess I could bring her over to the glass because the coaches and GM's family room is right next to the wives and immediate family room. So, you know, I still get to see the girls. They still get, you know, she still gets to see the kids on the team that she knows. And it's actually still a great setup.
Okay, I have a question about your mom.
Yeah.
What does your mom think about the WAG jackets?
Oh my God, she hates it. And my dad makes fun of me too for it because my mom is, you really will never see a picture of my mom. You won't see her doing, like, you would never see her doing anything like this. She was so incognito. I don't know if it's because like she was married to a quarterback and there's so much pressure. I mean, now I think it's different, like with like, all the, you know, quarterbacks' wives in the NFL, they have their own podcasts and stuff too. And it's great that like they're able to share their experience. My mom was the complete opposite. Like she was the one that like, she didn't want anyone to know who she was in the stands. Like she was like, she never really wore Jets stuff or Bengals stuff. Like she always just looked like a normal fan going. So I remember the first game I ever went to that as Matt's girlfriend, I was like, Mom, do I wear a jersey? Like, I don't know what to wear. Because I grew up a hockey fan. Like I grew up a New York Rangers fan, but And I was like, you do absolutely not wear a jersey. You wear a normal shirt, jeans, and boots. And then the WAG jacket thing, like obviously that's a big part of the playoff, thing and the community.
Yeah.
She was like, this is so weird. You guys just like put a target on your back walking around with the last names. Like, that's so odd. And I was like, yeah, it is kind of odd. And like in your home arena, it's fine. But like when you're at, if you're going to the visitor arena, you're really putting a target on your back. That's for sure.
So funny.
She's
We also
wrong.
had, yeah,
She's
not.
not.
Yeah, I mean, also, especially when you're all walking in together, it's like literally looks like a Girl Scout troop.
Oh my God, that happened to us. Was this last year? Yeah, or 2 years ago. We looked like a softball team. It actually is really weird when you're like in a group like the 16 and you're like walking through the arena and everyone's just like, all the fans were like, what the hell? Yeah. It is really weird, actually.
Oh my God.
But individually, it's cute. Yeah, individually, it's really cute.
And it's really fun to design them, but.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is really.
Well, we also, we had a couple fan questions asking what you thought of the term WAG.
Oh, you know what? I feel like in the beginning I was like, this is offensive. And then I'm like, no, that's really, now I really don't. I use it. I'm like, that's.
Yeah. Because we saw your tweet when he retired. You said, like, what was it?
Retirement from the WAG life, which people thought I was serious when I tweeted that. Like, I was making a full-on joke of myself. Like, that was, okay, good. Yeah. But, like I'm like a pretty sarcastic person. So and my tweets are pretty sarcastic. Same. And obviously there's people on Twitter that don't understand my sarcasm. So I was like, and then like the New York Post wrote an article about it. I'm like, oh my God, I was kidding.
Yeah.
Like,
this
it wasn't
is
serious.
what the podcast is for, is to give people
give the clarity.
Yes. So it was a joke, Todd.
Yes, seriously. And things just don't translate well sometimes on Twitter. I'm like, oh my God, I can hear it in my head, but then I like,
that's how it always works.
Oh, I love
Twitter.
it there. I love it.
I know. I hate it and I love it, and I just stay with it.
Yeah, you guys both like live in the Twitter world or X world, whatever we're calling it now. I'm like, I banned myself from that platform.
I know. I know a lot of girls that really deleted it because they just had to. Like, it felt toxic looking
at
taking
years off
fan tweets. Yeah.
I have a background in broadcast and social media too. Okay. So I as you, I appreciate like the funny parts of it.
Yes.
Not taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah. But then sometimes you wake up and you're scrolling and you're like, oh my God, I didn't want to see that. I need to get off. Like, this is,
Okay, going back to, your world in sports, you grew up in it. How did you actually meet Matt? I don't think we've found that out.
Oh, you haven't found that out? Okay,
No.
because I feel like I've told this story so many times.
Oh.
And I feel like it changes so many times actually too, because it's been so long. But I met one of his teammates at the Nassau Coliseum where the Islanders used to play at a concert over the summer. He was like a prospect for the Islanders. And naturally, I was a sophomore in college and very intoxicated. So I didn't really remember the exchange. And I woke up the next morning, my friends were like, do you remember talking to that hockey player? And I was like, what hockey player? Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Ends up the guy had a girlfriend, but he was friends with Matt. And he was like, hey, I met this girl at like a concert last night. You should hit her up, look her up on Twitter. And like, this is when my Twitter was private. My Instagram was private. Like, I wasn't really like out in the open like I am now. And he had a blue check mark, and I was a Rangers fan. So like, I didn't really know anybody on the Islanders besides like John Tavares, like any like big names, whatever. And I was sitting in my dorm room and he like sent me a tweet, like a pickup line.
Oh,
and I was
so
like,
Twitter
who is this? Twitter. Yes, that was how not Tinder, Twitter.
I love
And that's probably when you got an email, right? You got an email that you also got, right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Back then.
It was like you got the email and like their DMs didn't really exist.
Yeah.
Like, you could only DM somebody if they followed you back or whatever. So he like had to send me a public tweet.
Yes.
And then it was a public tweet. It was a public tweet. Yes.
Wow.
The balls,
Do we have that screen grab? Does that go around often?
Well, funny enough, I didn't answer for like 6 to 7 hours because I was like, who is this? Like, I thought it was like fake at first. And I didn't know how to respond. And so he got embarrassed and deleted it. And then I was like, wait,
Wait,
what?
go
So
back.
I finally tweeted back at him being like, hi,
Oh my
like,
God.
nice
my
to meet
gosh.
you.
This
And
is
then
so cute.
we followed each other. So then we were able to DM. But
How many followers did he have at the time of this public
I-
tweet?
I don't know. He was like 22, but he was kind of like the like cute, tough young guy on the team that I think had like a lot of, fans and whatever. So I don't remember how many followers, but his Twitter picture was him with one of the vets on the team who's probably like 35, 36. And I was like, which one is it? Like, is it the young guy or is it the 36-year-old guy?
Oh man!
And obviously
wish
I
we
did
had
my
a screen
research,
grab of
but-
this.
I know. I really wish I had screenshotted it. I don't even think screenshotting
I don't think it was a thing.
existed
Yeah.
back then. So
Oh my
Maybe you can
gosh.
find the email though.
I know I should look. I should. I've actually
The
tried
fact
to find
that
the
you two
DMs.
know that, like, oh, that was back when you would get an email from a
Mhm.
verified. Like, you guys
Yeah.
crack me up.
This is when like you treated Instagram like you would take a picture of like a mimosa and
Yeah.
you would just put
It
a really
was a
bad
filter.
filter on it, and
Sepia.
then you would
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was that time.
Oh,
So-
which is
Well,
funny.
so Ty also Twitter DM'd me, but I had followed him back, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, he kept
that's how you guys
unfollow-
met too.
Yeah. Well, we met at Dodger Stadium, but
Okay.
he courted me through this, but
Yeah.
he
Twitter
kept
was
unfollowing me and refollowing me, so I kept getting the email saying like, "Oh, Tyler
So
Toffoli
he could
just followed
see
you."
it.
Yeah, so I kept getting the email of
Oh,
like,
so
So
you
it was
could see
like
it in-
a game of cat and mouse, just like
Yeah,
unfollow, follow.
Wow, I'm really happy to have met somebody else that has started a relationship on
This is a
Twitter.
bonding
maybe that's
moment.
why we can't quit it. Maybe
I
that's
know.
why we like it
Maybe
so
we just have a special connection
Ah,
to this
that's
awful
okay.
app.
It's great. I can't wait
We
to
can't let it
call
go.
you right after this.
Yes.
Send you a public tweet after this.
It's perfect.
That's amazing. I
Oh
love it.
my gosh. Okay. Well, this is amazing. So, you guys, Twitter love, it was there to
Mhm.
last. Where did he take you on your first date? What was
It
this
was
guy tweeted publicly, so it had to have been something good.
It was like oh my God, I don't even think it exists anymore. It was like a lounge bar restaurant situation in Old Westbury, like right underneath his apartment where he lived. Kind of strategic, but like, it was no, the first date was very, chill. He was actually so awkward, like he wouldn't really like talk to me or look at me at first. And I was like, okay, this is really weird. And then he got comfortable. Like we were chatting it up. We realized we had so much in common. And Chi. It was called Chi. So for all the Long Islanders listening, that's where he brought me on my first date. I could not remember the name of it. Yeah. I don't think it exists anymore.
Okay, so
'cause-
wait, did your dad freak out because he was a Rangers fan?
Well, so he knew, like he found out somehow, like I did not tell anybody, like I hadn't told my mom yet. Like she was like, where are you going in Old Westbury? Cause we live a few towns over, and this was like on my college Christmas break. And I was like, oh, I'm just meeting a friend. Like she was sketched out. My dad somehow found out through the grapevine. I don't really know.
Through
Like
Twitter.
the athlete grape.
I think he just knew people, he knew Garth Snow, who was the GM of the Islanders at the time. Like he knew people in the Islanders organization. So I don't know how it
man.
got to him. But when I finally brought him home, like we had been dating for 4 or 5 weeks, I texted my dad being like, hi dad, I have a new boyfriend. I'm bringing him home. My dad acted like he had no idea. He's like, hey, what's his name? And I was like, he plays for I was actually legitimately scared that he was going to be mad that I was dating a New York Islander. That's how big of a Ranger fan he is, and like how big of a fan of the Rangers I was growing up. So, which is so dumb to think about that he would actually be upset, but like legitimately upset.
Yeah.
And he walked into the kitchen when Matt was sitting at the kitchen table, and he like put on a Brad Richards Rangers jersey to meet him, and was like, you got one of them, but you're never going to get all of us, like, in terms of the fandom. So
That is
it broke the ice. It was good.
Well, now
Well,
that
how's-
shtick keeps coming, right?
Oh my God. It's
showing up at your house wearing it with.
With Shafe, yeah. So my daughter's 3rd birthday was on Saturday, and I knew he was going to do something because he hadn't met Shafe yet, and he walked in, and I actually didn't even, I was like, this is how used to it I am, seeing him in Rangers stuff. He walked in, and I didn't think anything of it. Like, I was like, hey, Dad, how are you? Like, and he had the Rangers jersey on.
Stirring
And
the
he was
pot.
like, I think he was like waiting for me to notice. I was like, all right, like, yeah, there's, food in the kitchen, Shafe's in there, you can go say hi. And then I realized when Schaefer started laughing, and I was like, oh, wow, Dad, you say oldest trick in the book again.
That
So
is
it was funny.
Is your dad like a prankster? Has he always been like that?
Yeah. And you know what? Because he was a professional athlete, he has that locker room banter with like my husband and all of like Matt's teammates that he's met, and like he golfs with them, and like he just has that chirping humor mentality. So like I think that's why like that, and that's why like Matt and my dad get along so well, because they just talk to each other like they're in a locker room. So
how intimidated was Matt to meet your dad on the first, like he's probably like
honestly not at all, like I which is I think a little bit like maybe secretly, but are you talking about Matt, my husband, or Matthew Schaefer?
Both, actually.
My husband. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, wait,
both.
who am I talking
maybe
about
both.
first? I don't think Schaefer was.
Yeah,
I don't think Schaefer was nervous at all. He was.
Clue.
Yeah. I think he just kind of figured out who he was. But Matt, my husband, like nothing like bothers him, which is I think one of the things I've always, as his girlfriend, fiance, and wife throughout his career, I like never understood how he came home just unbothered. Like he left everything at the rink, which all credit to him. He never brought anything home. He never took anything out on me, never took anything out on the kids, like nothing. Like he came home in a good mood. I think I maybe saw him pissed twice throughout his career after a game. Like, and they were like two very random games. And, obviously playoffs, he gets upset, but he's like so unbothered by a lot of things. So
that's amazing.
It's a great quality.
Yeah. It is a great quality. It's a very stable quality because I don't have that.
Yeah.
Like I don't have that in my body. Like I get very bothered. So it's a good balance.
We need the balance.
Yes.
So your husband leading into his retirement, like how did that, like did you guys know this was happening last year? Like the transition, like how, I don't know. You know how it always goes. It's like,
yeah. He signed a PTO with the Islanders last season. So his last season. So he didn't come back really officially until like the end of October, I think it was. Like he didn't sign that contract till the end of October. So it was like such a weird waiting game last summer because he was a free agent, but we were like, we don't really want to go anywhere else. Like, our kids are getting established at school. Like he really he knew that maybe if this was his last season, he wanted to end in New York. He didn't want to go anywhere else. And like, he still had a few years in him. Like he's been injured a lot. He's an enforcer. So he has, a lot has taken a toll on his body, but he definitely was in great shape, like ready to go. So I was like, maybe we do have 1 or 2 years left, like maybe another year. And then I got pregnant last October. So like right before he signed that contract, which was kind of an unexpected pregnancy. I wanted to get pregnant this past summer. And like, I know that's kind of an odd thing to say. Like people are like, how is it an unexpected pregnancy? It was just, I didn't calculate it right.
Yeah.
It's a thing in sports.
Yes. So I was shocked. And then I was like, all right, third baby, this is it. Like super excited. And then I went to that first sonogram in November, and I was by myself. Actually, Matt was playing his first game that season. And
Wow.
I was laying on the table, and the doctor was doing the sonogram, and she was like, oh, there's two. And I was like, there's what? There's what? And she was like, twins. And I was like, no, I can't do that. And she was like, yeah, twins. And I was in full-blown shock. He was napping. He was doing his pregame nap in Columbus.
Wake up.
Nap.
I texted him. I was like, wake the F up right now. Like, call me back right now. And he was like, oh my gosh, is everything okay with the baby? And I was like, there's two babies. So I've kind of digressed, but I think once we found out it was twins, it was kind of like, all right, if we're not signing back one more year with the Islanders again, which didn't really seem like it was happening, we're not going anywhere else. Like I can't, my family's here. I'm close to my mom who helps a lot. I was like, I can't be in a new city with, newborn twins and two toddlers. Like I'll go crazy. So
oh my gosh.
I think that really solidified the end of it.
Well,
over the end of his career.
something that you and I have an unspoken bond over is we also are housing number 1 and number 2 pick.
Are you?
Yeah, I have Michael Misa in our house, so it's weird. But had they gotten chosen 1 and 2, 2 and 1, whatever, we potentially could have had. Yeah, we could have.
Yeah, the switch.
Popo kids.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But the difference is, I didn't just have twins before that. So,
yeah.
How did this happen? How did we decide to take on all at once?
You know what's funny? You know how everyone's like, well, once you have 2, like, what's another kid? Like, it's honestly just already chaos. That's kind of how I felt. But no, so because Matt is in like the position he's in, he met Shafe after the draft, and they just took like a liking to each other. Matt's kind of always been like a veteran that takes like young guys under his wing. Like he was like that with Mitch Marner in Toronto. He just like he's a good vet at making the young guys feel comfortable. Like never like intimidated or like put them in their place type of thing. Just kind of like, you're a part of this team. I want you to be comfortable, blah, blah, blah. And so they connected really fast. And obviously a lot of the guys on this team don't live here in the summer. There's a few, but they hadn't come back yet. So Shafe hadn't really met, just probably talked to a few of them over the phone. So Matt, they just got really close. And then the whole living situation started to come up. Matt and Schaefer have the same agent. So the agent was calling Matt being like, what do you think? Like, do you think he could live with you? And Matt was like, I would definitely have to talk to Sydney. Mm-hmm. And my twins are at the age now where like, they're not moving yet. They're not crawling, but they're sleeping through the night. So they're not like fresh out of the womb. I think if I had just had them, I would have been like, I don't know if I could do this, but I'm in a good rhythm now. My oldest is in a full day of school. My second is in half day school. So I was like, you know what, I can handle this. And it's actually great because he plays with them. Like it's like a live-in play date. So if I'm like doing something in the kitchen, if I'm making dinner or if I'm cleaning the house or doing laundry, he's down there playing with the girls. So like, I don't have to be like on the floor with them playing with Magna-Tiles and, all that stuff.
We saw the kids' table picture. That was adorable.
Yeah. So. Yes. He literally is. He's an 18-year-old kid. And I think watching him on the ice, you forget that because he looks like he's been out there for years, like how comfortable he is. But he is the age of a high school senior. So like it is another kid. And you know this too. It's wild. Like you forget. You're like, oh my God, you're a child.
Yeah,
has he
a mature child, but you're a child.
Well, it's funny. Oh, sorry.
Has he changed a diaper?
Yeah.
No, I was like, I'm not going to make him change a diaper. Maybe take out the trash every once in a while, but I was like, you don't need to do that. He's seen the diaper changes, but yeah.
Julie and I just were at a Long Island game. Control.
Yeah.
Well, yes. We were just at a Long Island game, and something we loved was he got on the mic right after and talked to the crowd, and it was magnetic. Like it was,
I know.
Like, did you have anything to do with that?
I had no skin in the game, and I was listening to his like post game, like get in the crowd, and I'm like,
yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? Who am I? I'm not
even that's literally who he is. Like he's the like happy. I mean, he's 18, so you forget that energy you have at 18. Like he's not 28, having been like just bogged down for years in this league. He's excited and he like loves it here. Like he loves the fans. He's like, every time he leaves, I actually helped him pick out his outfit yesterday for the game. And
so cute.
He was like, can you come help me pick out my outfit? Oh. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so pumped up right now. Like, look good. Like I look good. And like, I was like,
play good.
Look good, feel good, play good. So he was like, I'm so amped up right now. I was like, I don't even think Matt has ever said anything like that.
Wait, I love how comfortable, like that. Yeah. That makes me feel like he feels so comfortable with y'all to like come in and be like, help me pick out. Well, now they've got a lot more creativity to go with all this.
Yes,
I heard he was shopping.
They don't have to wear suits.
He was shopping in Matt's closet, your Matt's closet.
Yes,
the Gucci.
Yeah. He it was like the second or third day. He like went into his closet and came downstairs with the shirt on and the Gucci shirt on and the Todd Snyder flannel. And like looked at Matt and I was like, you like the fit? And Matt is like, again, my husband is so unbothered. Like he thinks it's funny. Like people were like, I can't believe you did that. I'm like, no, like we don't care. Like we are very, like, we're both very laid back people. Like I don't like run a tight ship. Like I'm not gonna have I'm not gonna have like a curfew for him. Like he still can go out with the guys on the team or whatever, and he has a girlfriend who's gonna come visit. Like
we just had the girlfriend come visit too.
Did you? Okay. Yeah.
You guys need to get each other's phone numbers.
We need to just chat.
Well, it's funny. I told Michael the story about the, going in your closet, whatever. And I didn't know that they were so close. I actually had no idea.
I know. They they're like really close friends. I think.
Yeah. And it's funny when you were just saying the story about how excited he is. Whenever I ask Michael about how was the game, whatever, he's like so excited for the next one. He just is so excited to play. And I'm like, wow, like
you like forgot that like spark existed.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like,
oh my God, we're going on our first road trip. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's like
this,
be
like a renewed,
it's like Elf or something.
Sense of,
yes,
for
it is. And
what can become the mundane.
It's kind of beautiful.
It is. It's like, I'm sure all of our like husbands felt that way at some point in the beginning. And and then obviously it's grueling because you go through playoffs multiple times and it's long seasons, but like seeing that like young, exciting energy, I'm like, wow, like he truly loves this game and like just can't wait to get to the rink. And it's like so sweet to see.
Oh, love that. Well, in thinking of you and your Matt and Matthew, Julie came up with a fun little game to compare the two. So we're going to ask you some questions between both of your Matts. Do you call them Matt?
Okay.
Are they both Matt?
We call him Shafe. My kids call him Shafe.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was like, this is going to get really confusing. But yeah. But so we established Shafe in our house.
Okay, so we called it Matt or Matthew, but we'll make it Matt and Shafe.
Okay.
Yeah, just to make it crystal clear. So
to make this not confusing for the listeners.
Yeah. Okay, so who is messier?
So far, Shafe is actually pretty clean. Like he's actually very respectful. My husband doesn't know what a hamper is, so I'm gonna say Matt's messier. Yeah.
Checks for all of our guys.
Yes.
Bigger prankster.
Probably my Matt. So far, I feel like Shafe definitely is gonna have some pranks up his sleeve, but definitely my Matt.
Has Matt pranked Shafe?
Maybe at the rink. He just kind of is like, he just kind of like teases him a lot. So I would say, I don't know about like legitimate pranks, but there's a lot of chirping and teasing going. Yeah, they're coming. Yeah.
Who's the better cook?
I would say Matt, because I wouldn't say he's a good cook. He's really good at grilling. So when I'm doing like the other sides for dinner, he's really good at grilling steaks and burgers and
we have
like
not
all that
let
stuff in the grill.
Schaefer turn on the stove yet.
No, we haven't. He made a bagel with cream cheese the other day, but that's about it. On his own.
We'll see what happens on Thanksgiving in both of our households. So that'll be interesting.
Oh my God. I'm actually stressed about that. I'm just getting over this past weekend.
Guys,
I'm still recovering from Halloween.
Whole Foods delivery.
Oh, I know.
They'll do it all.
We should put both of the 18-year-olds on like mashed potatoes or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
or
God.
Yeah,
I don't even know. Mashed potatoes can be kind of tricky, guys.
I know.
That's true. Well,
or just like laying out the napkins, like setting the table. I don't know why I'm giving
Yeah, it would be hilarious to do some sort of like competition.
Let them decorate the kids' table.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
More superstitious.
Oh, that's actually a funny one because my Matt, my husband, he claims he's not superstitious. He is extremely superstitious. And so yesterday before the game is at 5:00. Matt was like, do you want me to grab you Starbucks? I'm going out with Winnie. And he was like, Shafe's like, no, I'll just get coffee from the rink. And Matt was like, well, haven't you had Starbucks before every game that you've, had a point or scored in? And Shafe was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, okay. I was like, don't do this to him.
You're making him
I was
superstitious.
Like, yeah. But actually, he didn't have Starbucks yesterday. So there you go.
And he had a
great game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's invincible. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that when Kat and I love that when we can like break a superstition that we have mentally played in our heads. And we're like, I wore a different outfit. Good.
I know.
can change.
I didn't wear a watch the entirety of Matt's career that he gave me when we were like younger because I thought it was bad luck.
I have
his whole
that
career.
with a bracelet right now.
Yeah.
See, there's weird
I have
things,
a really
and
weird
I can't really
necklace that I
speak
wear
on
every
it.
day. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I had playoff pants too, and like they started to get really gross. I was like, I can't.
Playoff pants.
Like I had to wear them every single game, and I was washing them, obviously. But
yeah.
I was like,
That's
how many
funny.
outfits can I recreate with these pair of pants?
Yeah. Who has the weirder habits?
I don't know. I feel like Shafe hasn't lived here long enough for me to see a weird habit.
It'll come.
It'll come. So yeah, we'll see. And obviously, all men have weird habits. So
Is there a pet
we'll see.
peeve of your Matt's
That he has or that I have of
that you have,
his?
other than the hamper?
The hamper thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Do your husbands leave water bottles by their bedside tables?
Empty ones. Empty ones.
That one.
Empty.
It's like
a
big
tower.
one.
Yeah.
It's a tower.
I'm like,
That one drives me nuts. Or just finding clothes that he wore like tucked somewhere in like the corner of his closet.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I just did the dark load. Like I
Yeah.
just put that in.
Ugh, I'm getting
It's the water bottles
getting
for me.
feels.
Yeah.
Ty's car kind of looks like he's going to like a recycling place sometimes.
That's what Matt's looks like right now, actually.
Gosh.
Oh my
I'm
God,
like,
so
are you-
bad.
Who gets more into the kids' TV shows?
Actually, that was funny the other day is Shafe put on Paw Patrol for the girls and he's like, I used to love this show. And I was like, that's how
Oh my gosh, I just dated.
I was like, holy crap. I was like, what year were you born? He was like
Yeah.
2007. I was like,
wow.
all right, I need a minute. Like, I need a minute. That was
So
that was
that's
a lot
his-
for me.
That's
Did he
his
sit down and
pamper.
tune in for?
Yeah, like he sat there with the girls and they were watching Paw Patrol. This was like a few days ago. I was like, holy crap. And then it was really cute too the other day. He was like, can we watch? He's like, when it's Christmas, can we watch The Polar Express with the girls? That was my favorite movie. And I was like,
This is
Of course.
This is
And we can make
sweet.
hot chocolate and we can do
I was
all
like,
the things
yep.
and get matching
We could-
jammies.
put up some ornaments. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hang our
nice.
stockings.
So
what a
Paw
nice
Patrol
setup they all
fan.
have together.
I know it's
Yeah.
actually really cute. So yeah, I would say that.
I
My
used to
husband, me and my husband love Bluey. Like sometimes we'll catch ourselves like sitting there like still watching.
That's what I was
and I'm
gonna
like,
ask. Like Bluey or
Oh my
Miss
gosh.
Rachel? Like which one does Shafe like?
actually, he walked down this morning. My 3-year-old was watching Miss Rachel, and he had no idea who she was. So I was like, all right, not too young.
Yeah.
The Paw Patrol thing was a little bit of a jump scare for me.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah.
The
Me
term
too.
I used to love Paw Patrol is
Yeah.
crazy.
I know. I was like, and Paw Patrol's like not that old of a cartoon. So I was like,
But
Yeah.
that's scary.
Wow.
yeah, I know.
Um,
that took a little bit to recover from.
Jesus.
Who eats more?
I would say my husband, but I did see Shafe like take down 2 bagels the other day pretty easily. Like he's 18, he could literally eat
They have
anything.
hollow legs.
Yes, but my husband can eat. Like when we're out to a restaurant, like he could get 3 entrees. When he was playing, especially. But
Yeah.
now he's cut it back a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say my husband for sure.
We kind of answered this, but better game day fits.
Oof. Well, I think Shafe's style is going to evolve as he gets older.
Yeah.
So he does have a cute little sense of style. I was hanging up a bunch of his stuff in his closet, and I was like, oh, he's got some style.
He's got some
My
swag.
husband, when I first met him, he was wearing like Diesel and Ed Hardy. So I was like, we gotta fix this
Oh.
situation.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So his has definitely evolved. And now he is very, very well dressed. And I would say his game day fits were always really good. But he didn't get to really do that creative, game day
freedom.
fit that, it was always
What do you
suits.
think of that?
I actually don't mind it. I think there's like a happy medium though, like that you need to find, like where you still look like
Together.
put together, like you're not wearing like pajamas or like a tracksuit kind of thing. Like I like when the
Yeah.
guys still look put together, like they're, it's like, you could wear an outfit that you're going out to dinner in or something, like a nice dinner.
It's funny. It's like this past weekend, I feel like I'm noticing in the carousels of game day fits, like people are starting to get comfortable. They're starting to look a little casual. And
Well,
I know.
Blue Jays and Dodgers made it real casual, which I wanted.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to see that love or whatever, but
Yeah, like the jersey thing's cute when you're
Yeah.
sporting. Yeah. But yeah, I know. I've seen some crazy outfits though. I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap.
It's starting to get interesting, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, who talks more about the game? You kind of answered this too, but talks more about the game at home.
I would say, like, it was actually sweet the other night. Matt was trying to just give like Shafe advice about like, you know, leaving a bad game behind and just starting anew. And I think Shafe asked him a lot what he sees and what he could change or what he could have done differently and he's getting advice from him on how to kind of just like leave that bad game and then just wake up, start anew, start fresh, just focus on the next game type of thing. But I would say, yeah, I think it's pretty equal. And they're more so, or Shafe's just getting advice from him, which is actually, I think, really nice.
That's so cool.
Did this happen before where rookies lived with?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's
Tavares did.
Yeah.
Tavares did it, I think with the Waits, who was, he was the coach for the Islanders for a bit, and he played here. And then Noah Dobson and Barzal did it here too with the Seidenbergs.
Interesting. Okay. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like a normal thing. I don't know if that's really ever been a thing on Ty's other teams. So
Yeah.
it's a huge thing here. But
I know.
Yeah. So
I
that's
feel
cool.
like if they're really, really young, like
Yeah.
18, 19, that's like when it should happen.
Yeah, which we have
Or
a bunch
like
of those.
their parents moved down with them or something. But
And
like
it's
that
like
happened in
the
Toronto.
Higher round picks, I think, that are
Yeah.
18 that they know are going to crack the lineup. Because I remember
Yeah.
when
Mhm.
we were in Edmonton, there, like, all those guys, like, Draisaitl lived with, like, a previous owner of the team.
Mhm.
And we used to, like, pick him up on the way to games and take him home. And every time he got a point, we would take him to McDonald's and get
That's
get
so
a
cute.
cheeseburger. Like, and now we're like, Leon's just this superstar.
Yep.
You know, it's
so
so
Yeah.
I do think
And that's
it's-
gonna be Shafe.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be cool to like watch, you know, when he's older, living on his own. And I'm
it's
just
gonna
gonna be like,
so
wow.
neat for your kids to be
It's
like,
so cool.
you know, they might not have memories with dad per se, but I do
Oh, yeah,
think
they're
you
gonna-
should take them
Yeah.
on the ice or on the glass
Yeah.
because that's gonna be a special one.
Family
Yeah.
skate with Shafe. That's cute.
Yes. Well, I was like, actually, he was saying to me last night that we have a team Christmas party at the practice rink where we skate and everything. I am not a good skater. And he was like, I can't wait to see you skate. And I was like, you're not going to see me
Yeah.
skate because I'm going to hand you my children
Yep.
on the ice. So
Yeah.
you
I'm
can
gonna
do
be
that.
taking pictures from.
Yeah, I'll be taking the pictures
bench.
from the side.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's like a lovely assist that you have from him for
I know.
skating.
it's great because I'm like, I can't hold my kid up on the ice. Like I can't even really stand up on the ice. So that's not going to happen.
Cute. Well, we're excited for those photos.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a curveball question.
Okay.
Who cheers louder when Shafe scores, Matt or the kids?
Oh my God, definitely the kids. I don't think my husband really like cheers.
Sorry, gets more excited, I guess.
Gets more excited.
Yeah.
Well, he's at the game, so I don't see him, but we are texting like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that was incredible or whatever. And Winnie was losing her mind last night though. Like I have never really seen her do that. And I'm like, I think it's because she's at the age where she can understand it now.
Mm-hmm.
And she was almost like a little too young during those
Yeah.
playoff years. And now it was like she was going crazy last night. So
I mean,
it was
it's
really
like
cute.
a big brother too to her. I'm sure she just adores
Yeah.
him. Like
She does. Like he's literally a play date, like a big brother for sure.
I need one of those.
I know.
How can I-
It's great.
For your kids.
Yeah.
NHL, send
Yeah,
help.
just, who are we drafting?
Yeah.
That would be great for the Petrie boys. Oh my God.
Oh, what I would do was for someone.
Oh, the
that
mini
would-
stick games that would go on.
that
I
would
know.
be amazing. One more thing before we go into our last little quick shooter thing. The
Mhm.
Islanders just posted the cutest new little puppy dog, and his name is Marty. Is that your husband? Like a tribute?
Yeah. Yes. So they did like a fan vote. I guess there was like 4 options for the name. And one of them was Marty because that's what his hockey nickname is. That's what all the guys call him. And yeah, it like they voted for
so
the name
cute.
Marty, and I was like blown away. I was like, this is so cute. And they took a picture because obviously Matt has to wear like a suit now. It's everywhere he goes, pretty much. And they took a picture of him like on the board, like the table, like the boardroom table with like a little tie. I was like, this is so sweet.
Oh my
That's
god.
really cute.
The Islanders,
so
the Islanders'
cute.
social media is getting really creative this year, and I love it. Like it's
Yeah.
so fun to follow. But yeah, that was really sweet.
I saw that
and
and
touching.
It was really cute.
And I was like, oh, I want him, but also like chill out, Sydney. Like
Just
it's
add
too
one
chaotic.
Yeah,
more
that's you got a lot
thing.
going on.
I was like, yeah. I'm like, what's a dog? What's a puppy?
It's a
Why not?
puppy.
Yeah.
You've got lots of kids to entertain a puppy and
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? I can't.
Shafe
Where does
is
Marty
on dog
live?
walking duty now.
oh, he
Sure
probably
wouldn't
love
mind.
it, right?
Yeah.
I know. My girls would love it.
That's so special. Well, in due time, you can add a puppy to your chaotic household.
Yes.
Marty's
But-
cute though.
That is adorable. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap up with our little quick shootout questions here, just to kind of
Okay.
sum up our whole interview and conversation. So, is the kids' bedtime a battle or a breeze?
Battle.
Always. I mean, there's no
Always. Yeah, it's never a
breeze.
breeze
It don't
with
get
toddlers.
better, honey. It stays hard.
Yeah. It was a breeze and now it's not.
Yeah.
So I was one of those parents that was like, oh, it's nothing. Now I'm like, oh my God, why was I like that?
They get opinions,
I didn't-
and then they,
Yeah.
yeah, it's bad.
They want to tell you about their entire day.
Yeah, all of a sudden they want to talk. It's like,
Yeah.
we
out
have
of
all day
nowhere.
to do this. I
Mhm.
love it.
Okay, who controls the remote in the house?
I do, because Matt always hands me the remote. Like he never wants to do it. I'm
Love
always
it.
like, it's actually such a weird thing that he does. Like he never wants to find the channel.
like-
So it's me. Yeah, he's like, here.
I get
Like-
that. I
And then
actually
if he
do that
hates
to
it,
Jeff.
it's on you.
He does it to me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, what is your guilty pleasure TV show?
Oh, I am like a big rom-com girly. Like I love the like corny stuff. That's just how I grew up. I love like Virgin River on Netflix, like those types of things. My mom's like a big Hallmark movie
Oh, I love
girly.
Mm.
I'm kind of into that, but I
Hold
would
on,
say,
guys.
like,
I got to pause for a second. UPS has been
Yep.
trying to get me forever, and he's here.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, actually, that'll give me more time to think about my answer.
It's funny you say rom-com though, because like the kids I've noticed, like the 18-year-olds, like love a rom-com. Like they,
Yeah.
it's really weird. Like
I know. This generation is so different.
so interesting and
Like,
TikTok influenced. So even if like on TikTok,
Yeah.
like a rom-com from our past gets popular again, they like know what it like. It's like a weird.
yes, it is really like TikTok brings back so many like old movies and stuff.
Yeah,
It's-
so you never know if they know what you're talking about or they totally know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
because of, like TikTok. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Guilty pleasure.
Is it my guilty pleasure? I would say, yeah, like rom-com, romantic type of drama, TV shows like Virgin River. I love Outlander. Every time I'm watching Outlander, Matt walks in, he's like, what are you watching? Like, I'm like, my show, okay? You know what? I know it looks really inappropriate, but
Yeah.
this
I
is
love
my
that.
special time. So,
Love it. What is your dream girls only trip?
probably St. Bart's. I've been a few times with my girlfriends and it never fails.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, I've never been to Aspen, like an Aspen skiing trip,
Oh.
or I love to ski. So anything like out west during the winter time, but I have not gone on a girls trip in a while. I don't know when I'm going to be able to, but
Well,
I just got back from one from Utah literally last night. So-
oh my gosh.
Yeah, Park City. Park City was great for a
That's
girls
so
trip.
fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Who's the disciplinarian in the house?
Both of us in different ways. I would say he's easy on the girls. Like he lets them get away with like certain things that like I would not, just like the sass. Cause like
Yeah.
they get the sass from me. So that drives me nuts. When it comes to like food and eating like dinner, he is 100% the disciplinarian. And he's actually more strict about when he's kindergarten homework than I am. I'm like, it's fine. Like she'll do it. Like,
That's
don't press
so
it.
Funny. Jeff is like really big on the homework too, and I'm like,
Yes.
oh, whatever. It's too much. Like, let him go.
I think it's because like I'm like, you definitely
Didn't
were
do
not
homework.
Yeah, like I'm like, you didn't really do homework.
Are they
I'm
trying
like,
to like read? They're like, I don't know. I feel like it's
exactly. I'm like, why? I'm like, don't push it because
Yeah.
they're gonna like hate doing this
Yeah,
when they're older.
that's
So
hilarious.
How interesting.
yeah.
Do you guys have a couple song?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe
I
from
mean,
your wedding?
our first dance song was "Can't Take My Eyes Off You" by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons,
Aw.
but I don't even remember how we picked that. So I would say that every time we hear it in different versions or whatever, we're like, oh, wedding song.
Oh my God, I just see Kevin Zulai like crying their eyes out to your first
Yeah.
dance at your wedding. What a cute.
Oh, it was, yeah. We had everybody come in like halfway through the song too. It was like, get in here.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's more likely to forget a birthday or an anniversary?
I would say Matt, but he is other people's birthdays. I would say him. I'm pretty good at like remembering that stuff. Our anniversary or my birthday, he is on it. Like he's on it with the gifts. He's on it with the plans, and
Love
so
that.
yeah.
Even when you can't wear the watch, he still got you the watch.
Yes. Yeah. He's good with that stuff.
Emoji you use the most. Wow, that was like you use the
Probably the like upside down smiley face, like, or
that seems like a good representation of your life right now.
yeah,
Just like everything's happy, but we're a little crazy.
Yeah, like I'm okay. I promise I'm okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Heels or sneakers?
Sneakers. Back in the day at games, it was heels. Those days, I'm so happy those days are over, but definitely sneakers. I'm so bad at walking in heels now. I don't know what happened to my feet.
Yeah.
Honestly, in working in sports and having to wear heels and like get dressed up for sporting events, like now I'm the same way. I'm like,
Yeah. I'm like,
snakes,
no.
yeah, we're cash now. We don't
Yeah.
get dressed up anymore.
And like Gen Z, like they don't wear heels. Like everybody's wearing, I feel like they're so casual that like
baggy.
they've made like casual fancy again somehow. So
I'm here
Agreed.
for it.
yeah.
Okay, 2 more questions.
Yep.
What would you name your family group chat?
Our family group chat right now is just E family, which is like a Sison family. But I don't know.
Is Shafe in a family group chat?
He's not in he's in a group chat with me and Matt. Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, if it was all of you together, Shafe included, what would you call it?
Oh my God. Like Full House? Like, I don't even know.
That's funny.
That's a good one. Modern
Yeah.
Family. Full
Modern
House.
Family. Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. What is your go-to when you need 5 minutes to yourself?
Like what do I do?
Yeah. Anything just to
Sit outside. I love to sit outside on my porch and just like have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, depending on the time of day. That like just, a silence moment. I do love a good doom scroll on TikTok.
Love a doom
So bad but then that ends up being like 25 minutes. And I'm like, what was I just watching for 25 minutes?
Yeah.
I feel this.
Yeah. So that's
I love it.
just gonna be honest. I'd love to say, read a chapter of a book,
Yeah,
but that's
right.
not.
That's
yeah,
not
no.
happening.
No, a doom scroll.
Doom scroll.
Yeah.
It's mindless, and it's also just like it's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Don't you just like laugh at half of it like so hard? And I'm like, I needed.
Oh my
this.
God. I'll sit in bed and my husband doesn't have TikTok and like I will start crying laughing and he's like, what are you watching? I like try to show him. He's like, okay.
I'm like, you don't
like,
think it's
am
funny?
I'm like, am I like in this world where I think everything is like the comments? I die.
I mean, not even that. A Twitter doom scroll. Even.
I know.
Okay,
It's just
that's
me.
another world of
I know.
non. That's stressful.
I know.
TikTok
It's-
doom scrolling is funny because the comment section is like none
That-
other.
Yeah, yeah.
It's-
The comment section is sometimes the funniest part.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's where the creative people live.
Yeah.
And so,
I'm like, everyone is hilarious.
really
like,
funny and like
so funny.
unhinged. It's so great.
It's great.
I
Yeah.
love that. Well, I loved this conversation. I feel like we've been friends forever. This is like the funnest chat we've had. You are everything and more. I'm so glad we covered literally the spread of, your early life to now being, the mother of the house of just chaos. I love it. You are just so fun, and I can't wait to see what's next. And I hope this children's book comes out.
Yeah,
Oh
seriously.
my gosh, we'll see. I'll give myself a few. I think I need to rewrite it, but it was so fun coming on. And I feel like I've known you guys forever. Like it's just so next time you come to UBS,
Oh,
let me know. I will bring you guys up to the Heineken Lounge. We'll have some
we're there.
cocktails.
Twist our
Yeah.
arm, right, Kat?
It was so nice
Yeah,
to meet you
you too.
guys.
I'll send you some rabbit hole things after this
Oh,
when I
yeah,
go
we gotta
on.
follow each other on each other on Twitter right now.
Yes. In not knowing someone and now feeling like we know her very well, like, you know, you could say that and not mean it, but like literally just all the
I can't wait to go to the
similarities.
Heineken bar when
I'm
in
like,
Long Island next.
I'm pumped. I'm actually going to look at the schedule right after this to see when do you know when the Panthers are playing there? Because
I think it's a couple of times. So I think there could be one where I could go kidless, and then the next one is like during a spring break situation. But yeah, let's circle the calendars. She is so fun.
I'll meet at the HQ too and do round two.
Do round two, no doubt. I love it. I love like her story out of college, like first of all her childhood and then out of college and into the sports world on her own, in journalism sort of world. And then, you know, she's busy as hell and she's still thinking, I don't know what's next, but something's coming. I'm like, you go, girl. Like that is my kind of girl.
Wheels turning too. It also resonated with me when kind of her journey, obviously me coming from the Dodgers, and then when Ty had to go to get traded to Canada, that's kind of when I started taking, you know, my leave from that world. Yeah. So
it's relatable.
It's so relatable. And she's just, but she's got so many things going on and so many funny stories, and her dad wearing that jersey. And
so funny.
Yeah.
I love how comfortable the Schaefer kid is going into the closets, getting different shirts to wear, asking Sydney for advice on what to wear. Like, yeah. I think that is the cutest thing ever, and just is telling, obviously, about their personalities and how welcoming and things like that. I just think that's
she seems like
so
the perfect gal for him to, as you know, the household runner. But it's funny. You and I were talking about how we're in the same situation, but like she has 4 kids and I have, you know, a dog. So it's like so same, but so diff. And like she also like when we post on social media, like she's like posting like her kids with him and stuff like that. And I'm more like, all right, here's Michael and my dog. So it's just it's so different. And some of her social posts are so just heartwarming with, you know, like the whole family, and, you know,
I think
a great follow.
Yeah, it's a great follow, but you guys both, it's same but different in the best of ways. Like they're different experiences, and you guys are doing something too, like special for these kids. Like they're still kids and they're in this new huge world of the NHL, and you know, it's a lot. And I think to have that comfortability with you guys and Ty and you know, their family, it's really special. And it's just, again, brings it back to this hockey world and this culture of just how tight knit everybody is. And it's just, you know,
I guess I didn't ask her. Again. We do get we're really emotional on this show. I didn't ask, I guess all offliner, but I wanted to know what his living situation is in their house, because it's different, like
setup.
Yeah, like because we have an ADU, it's attached, but it's still, he has his own door to go in there, so he's not like in the room next to us or something.
DM her. I bet you should respond.
Well, I'm curious too, because even like Will and Mac have, like, you know, they have different setups. Everyone has like a different setup, so I can't believe I didn't ask her what the setup is like. How, you know, do they have a pool house or you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, something cool the Panthers did this last weekend, and it is still going until tomorrow, is a hurricane relief fund for Jamaica. The guys actually, you know, it is kind of nice now that there's no dress code and something like that. The guys wore these specific Guy Harvey shirts that were to bring awareness to the hurricane really fun that the Panthers are doing right now. And I think the drive is going until tomorrow. So when this airs, it'll be today, the 4th, of people donating supplies and things like that that are going to be taken down to Jamaica to help everybody who's been affected down there and all the disaster. So that was really special, something the Panthers did. really cool that, you know, in this area, right, it's geographically like that's what makes sense and can bring awareness and funds and supplies. So you can go on their website and see everything that they need there and are looking forward to donate, and it'll be taken directly down to Jamaica by airplane. So that's super cool.
Nice.
Yeah. And then wrapping up the weekend, I feel like we have to give like an ode to Hockey Halloween and who won.
Okay,
right?
it's Hockey Halloween has really become such a thing. But yes, we agree. Who won? The Seattle Kraken as a whole.
Okay, I think they won, but then I have a close second. I don't think I even talked to you about this. I have a close second.
Oh, okay.
Seattle Kraken by far won.
Yeah, Seattle Kraken as a whole.
So everybody who doesn't know, they had an Adam Sandler themed Halloween party, and Adam Sandler showed up.
But I think it was because he was like appearing at the arena. Something like that. Like it was we need to get the real backstory. I should have just like texted somebody. But apparently he was performing there or something, so they all came in the dressing room as him for like the
it was
photo
amazing
op or whatever.
It was amazing, and everybody dressed as a different version of like character, and it was awesome.
Whose idea on the team was that? Because it is so genius. I can't even imagine. And I also want to know, like,
was it in place of their Halloween? Like,
we don't know. Oh gosh, I really wish
we'll come back to this.
Kraken.
Yeah.
Well, also I want to know too. I really want to know what Adam's reaction was, because you know when you see the first one, you're probably like, oh, that's funny, and then they just kept coming, like hundreds of them, like of him. He must have just. I want to know his reaction.
Yeah.
We gotta figure
it
out.
We'll bring it back. No, my close second was the Winnipeg Jets. The wives did Spice Girls and the guys did Backstreet Boys, and I was like, okay,
I want it that way. Yeah, like that was really good. You're right. That was smart too.
It was
like really smart.
Cute. It was perfectly executed. If you look at the photos, they looked great. So I
have a question for you though. So okay. Ooh. Number one, Seattle Kraken as a whole, because that was genius. Number two, Winnipeg. But when you were telling me about your costume, you told me that you didn't, because it's a younger team. You're like, I don't know if they'll know what it is. Was that the costume?
Yeah.
So and did people know who Jenny and Forrest Gump were?
It officially aged us. I think maybe two couples knew who we were, and everybody else did oh yeah, like one of those like and I'm like, oh my god, I'm just dressed as I'm just dressed as a hippie, and Jeff is just like Jeff. You know, it's a little bit more noticeable, I guess. If you don't watch the movie, you're looking at me like, why is she dressed like? Do they know what a hippie is? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you could have been a few things. You could have been like
it dated us, for sure. I was like, okay, well, I tried. I thought this was a classic, and I should have just gone as 6'7". That was the backup. Was Jeff going as a 6, I going out as a 7, and we probably should have done that. So
you looked great. And thanks. I was off the grid, but so I was going to text you and be like, oh my God, was that the costume that you thought people wouldn't know?
We should have brought our kids from the kids' Halloween, because we were Mighty Ducks with them, and Jeff was Gordon Bombay, and I was Coach or Miss McKay, and which is funny because McKay is my maiden name, so I thought it was like clever. Anyways, it's stupid.
Okay, so Forrest Gump didn't land with the younger Jeno.
No, it did not land. I was like, okay, I'm just dressed here in a blonde braided wig and like just look like whatever. But it was fun. All that to say, we had some great costumes too. People really commit, and I love that. So that's a wrap on Hockey Halloween, and just another big week. Actually, Jeff comes out west to you guys, so look at your calendar. I think he's there maybe Friday.
Oh, I saw. It's a back-to-back, so we wouldn't be able to see him. There's lots of back-to-backs this season because of the Olympics. I know.
Yes, this is that's what I'm here in Florida. They're going on like these 10-day road trips once a month, and I'm a little like, ooh, I'm not used to this. This is a lot.
Weird schedule.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you do get to see him after a game or something or whatever,
I'll see him after.
Give him
I just mean I can't see him for like dinner or anything, but
we'll
see him after.
Give him a nux.
We'll go live on the Never Offside Instagram
Yeah, right.
with Jeff Petrie after.
Anyways, okay. Well, I loved catching up with you. I felt like we had like so much to catch up on just from the
there's
weekend.
Still so much. You're gonna call me in like an hour and be like, "We forgot to talk about 8,000 things."
So thanks for listening and hanging around this long. And go follow us on Never Offside Pod on Instagram and
where we'll go live with Jeff Petrie after the Panthers first Sharks game.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.